Welcome back to episode number 4 of the Inked Video Experience. I'm Chris with Inked Michigan Realty, and over here we've got
Nikki with Title Connect.
Tell them what we're going to talk about today, Nikki.
There is always a way to get your real estate transaction to the closing table.
Always?
Always.
But what if we've got that client that's got a ton of liens on the property? All right, so one of our recent transactions, we had a client, we'll call her Rhonda for the video's sake, who had a ton of liens on her property as we were trying to get it to the closing table. But remember, there is always a way to get a real estate transaction to the closing table. So what did we do? So the first issue that we had was tax foreclosure. Our client hadn't paid her property taxes in 7 years. How did we find a way around that?
That's right, Chris. Rhonda hadn't paid her property taxes since 2013. That makes it pretty tricky to get your property to the closing table. But we made sure that the property was redeemed with the county and all the taxes were squared away before we scheduled the closing.
That's great, but we've got a couple other issues with Rhonda. Land contract forfeiture, what do we do about that?
Yeah, another problem for Rhonda. She sold her house on a land contract to Jimmy. Jimmy went to prison for a couple of years and he wasn't able to make the payments. Rhonda started the process of undoing the land contract paperwork, but she stopped shy of getting it through to the courts and getting title back in her name. So we had to step in and help her clean it up. We had to track down little Jimmy and get him to deed the property back over to Rhonda, who rightfully owned it. So we were able to get that off of the commitment and get her ready for the closing table.
So this brought up another issue that we could have while closing on a property. You see, little Jimmy was a contractor, and in meeting with him to have him deed the property back over to Rhonda, we got to talking about contractor liens.
Yeah, Chris, contractor liens
Are a son of a
If you get work done on your house and you hire a contractor to come in and help and you don't pay them, they're gonna slap a lien right on the title of your home. Sometimes it can take time to find that contractor, track them down, make sure that they get paid in full, and have them sign a waiver removing their lien off of that property. But it can be done.
So you see, there can be a lot of issues with title on a property, but
there's always a way to get your real estate transaction to the closing table.
be sure to join us next week for some more title tips. And in the meantime, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell to stay up to date every time we drop a video.
You don't want to miss it.
You definitely don't want
It's gold.
It's gold.
Facts.
Yep. Face. We'll see you next week.